How do I block my parents from watching this video? Well, how's it, people? Boy, are you in for a treat today. You know what? I realized I don't really do story times on my channel. I think we need to have more story times because I love telling stories and I have a lot of stories to tell. So, I don't know. Do you want more story times? Let me know. And if you don't want more story times, actually I don't really care. I'm just gonna give you more story times. Also, do you mind if I eat sweets while I do this video? It's one of those days. Firstly, I just want to say, if you're like brand new to my channel and this is the first video that you click on, I just want to let you know that I don't usually talk about stuff like this. So yeah. Also, if you're a guy and you're like easily offended by topics like these, number one, why? Number two, you shouldn't be, because these are real issues that we women have to deal with. And three, just, you know, build a bridge and get over it. Even me, hey, I was debating and debating and debating with myself and even with others about whether I should post this video, because I know people are weird about topics like these, but like, you know what? Actually, this could help someone, especially if you're a female in Korea. Like, hearing about these experiences, it comforts you and it lets you know that it's gonna be okay, and that you can also do something like this if you're nervous about it like I was. I honestly wish that I had content like this when I first came to Korea in 2011, but I came in 2011, so this content didn't really exist back then. So count yourselves lucky that you now have me to tell you all these stories. If this is not a video for you, that's okay, man. It's really not a train smash, honestly. I give you permission to not watch this video and then come back next week for when I resume to normal programming, okay? And seriously, Ma and Dad, if you're watching this video, don't watch this video. Please, I'm begging you. I appreciate that you support my videos, but not this video. You can support all the others, not this one. Oh, okay. So now that all that admin's out the way, let's get on with the story time. Where should I start? Let's start at the very beginning. Okay, so once upon a time, I was born. And 30 years later, I turned 30 years old. Quick maths. And when I hit 30 years old, I was like, you know what? From now, I'm gonna start taking better care of my body. I know. I don't know why I waited until I was 30. Honestly, I should have started that in my 20s, even late teens. As always, I'm late to the party. But as I always say, with my very irregular period, better late than never. So I hit 30. I decided to take better care of myself. And as part of that decision to take better care of my body, I always wanted to just remove all the hair from my body. Basically, I wanted to turn myself into a human gecko. That sounds kind of gross actually, but if you are an Indian girl, an Indian woman like me, you will understand the problems that we have when it comes to hair on our body. For some reason, I don't know, I guess whoever made human beings, I just feel like they didn't really like Indians, hey, because they really punished us with a lot of hair. I don't know if they thought it was funny or what when they were making us, but they gave everyone else a reasonable amount of hair on their bodies, and then when it came to us, they decided to make us into little bush babies. Actually, Indian people were blessed and cursed with hair. We have really good hair, and it's really thick and full and lovely, but we were also cursed because we just have too much and it's everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. But I feel like especially me, hey, I feel like especially me, I've been cursed with a lot of hair on my body. And you know what? I am so sick and tired of all this hair on my body. So I was like, you know what? I am going to laser my entire body. I'm still gonna do that. I'm going to laser my entire body because I am sick and tired of de-hairing myself. But before the lasering, I haven't lasered yet, but I decided for the very first time that I I am gonna get a Brazilian. And not just any Brazilian, because I didn't know this. But apparently you get a semi-Brazilian and then a full Brazilian. But I don't want a semi, that's what she said. I wanted a full Brazilian. Now listen, I'm telling you now, hey, I'm warning you now, this video is gonna be very TMI. But hey, welcome to my channel, honestly, where I actually am very TMI in general. But this video is gonna be like a super TMI. So if you're not comfortable with that, then I suggest you switch this off and go and watch a puppy video or something. I don't know. If you don't know what a Brazilian is, well, it's when they take out everything from your downstairs area. Oh, also from now, I'm going to refer to my downstairs area as VJ. And I know what you're thinking, but Sam, isn't VJ an Indian boy's name? Why is your vajayjay called VJ? Well, when you see my vajayjay's spiky black hair, you will understand why I named him after an Indian boy. You know, YouTube can be weird sometimes, and I don't want them to demonetize my video if they hear me using the word vagina, although I just said it now, damn. So from now, it's VJ. So the other week, I did a Brazilian. For the very first time in my life. Needless to say that I was pooping bricks, because obviously you hear these stories about the pain, but I figured, you know what, I have 2 tattoos and I was fine, so I will be fine. But still, I was pooping bricks, so I messaged a couple of friends who had experience with Brazilians. And I said to her, so on a scale from 1 to like dead, just tell me what the pain is like. And you know what she said to me? She said, Sam, when you go in there, just think that you're going to experience the worst amount of pain and then you'll be fine. Now, when someone tells you something like that, that immediately is a red flag. That I think was supposed to comfort me, but actually it made me panic even more. So thank you to that friend who was attempting to comfort me but actually did the opposite. I appreciate it, really. The first thing I did was I obviously googled where people were going in my area to do waxing. I found a lady in the nearest city to me, which incidentally is a city called Gwangju. But I'm not talking about Gwangju in Gyeonggi though, I'm talking about Gwangju in Jeollanam-do. And I stumbled upon a place. I'll leave her details in the description if you're near Gwangju and you need a waxing place to go to. Anyway, so I sent her a message. If you've done a Brazilian back at home, a full Brazilian, let me know. I'm very interested to know the prices, because let me tell you something. I saw the price list and I was flabbergasted. Wow, a Brazilian, that ain't cheap, hey? Just like, it's a small area, guys. It was 120,000 won. Do you know what 120,000 won is? Almost 1,700 rand. 1,700 rand. I almost died. So I was like, brothers better be worth it. Hey, you VJ better come out of there smooth as a baby's bottom. Anyway, to cut a very short story long, I made my appointment. We were all set to go. When it came to the day, I was about to cancel because I was so scared. I went to Gwangju. We started off on a really bad note because I walked in and she was like, oh, when they do that, I'm just like, oh boy, what's the problem? Basically, she forgot that I had made my appointment. We made the appointment over Kakao Talk. So I was like, oh my gosh, is she gonna cancel on me? This is a sign. This is a sign that I need to cancel this completely. I don't want to go ahead with this. Anyway, she was like, oh, it's okay. It just come in anyway. Guys, you know that I don't pray, but boy did I start praying for VJ when I walked into that room. Yo, I have never felt fear like that in a long time. This was without doubt the single most traumatizing event of my life. I was so traumatized. VJ was so traumatized. Shame. We were all so traumatized. I was stressing a lot because, you know, this is not just like, this is a big deal. It's VJ, and like, VJ is a very delicate cute little chap, you know. And I'm putting boiling hot wax on VJ. That and the fact that there's a language barrier. I really wish that I did this for the first time in South Africa, where we obviously speak English, just so I know what getting a Brazilian was like. But of course, no, I did not do that, did I? I decided to do my very first Brazilian in Korea, where there's obviously a very big language barrier. And so I was panicking about that too. You know, I want to know exactly what's happening. Like, I want her to like talk to me and tell me, like walk me, hold my hand throughout the whole process and tell me what's gonna happen. But we couldn't do that because of the language barrier. So I was going in there blind almost. Anyway, I did it. I'm alive to tell the story. So anyway, so I walk in, and the place, by the way, is just beautiful. Like, she's very aesthetically pleasing and all of that, and very clean and lovely calming music playing in the background, which is exactly what I needed, because me and VJ, hey, we were both in like full-on panic mode at that point. She has the tiniest bit of English, but she had enough English to tell me to walk in the room. She had a shower, and she told me to shower first, and once I was done with my shower, I could get on the bed. And then she came in, and I was like, this is it! This is it, VJ! This is it! Like, I was praying for my mother. So I was sitting on the bed, and I said to her, you know, this is my first time doing a Brazilian. She couldn't even hide that panic in her eyes. I think she tried to hide that like stricken look in her eyes, but I saw it. And she was like, oh, first time? And I said, I'm really worried about the pain. I'm not even joking. She looked at me, she took my hand, and she said, it will be okay. And I was like, wow, why am I not comforted at all? Big red flag for what was to come. She handed me a big crocodile teddy bear. She said, this is your friend, you should hold him. And I was like, another big red flag. She was basically telling me, bruh, you better hold on to this guy for all your life, because you're gonna need to when I rip your... She lay me like a spatchcock. I knew that this would happen, but like when she did it, I was like, ah! Guys, I looked like a Nando's chicken just lying there on the bed. And I was like, wow, okay. And as I lay there like a spatchcock on the bed, I just had a moment where I realized, okay, she is looking at VJ. I had to tell myself over and over, she's probably seen like 1,000,007 VJs in her lifetime, so it's okay. Next, she went and got a whole thing of baby powder, which it seemed like she emptied out that entire thing on VJ, because wow, VJ looked like the Swiss Alps suddenly. And then, oh my gosh, she just went in. Yo. She didn't even warn me. And I got such a shock, because that was the moment I realized there was no going back. The wax was on. It was over. Game over, VJ. Game over. And I didn't even have like a few seconds to prepare myself for the rip. She literally spread the wax and ripped it. And that was the first rip. Yeah. And well, I screamed a little bit. I won't lie, hey? Guys, my body was shook. Literally, it was shaking. Basically, it was so painful that with that one rip, she just did one, my entire body, I'm not even joking, I wish I was joking about this, but my entire body was vibrating with the pain. Like, I was shaking with the pain. And she actually had to hold me down, because we were me and VJ, we were violently shaking from the pain. Then she looked at me, because I think she wasn't expecting it to be that painful. So she looked at me and said, oh, when is your red day? And I was like, red day? I know in Korea there's black day and white day, but I've never heard of red day. But then a light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, you mean my period? And I was like, yes, my period is coming in 2 days. And you know how she reacted? She was like, otoke! And I was like, oh my god, why? She said, if your period is coming in like 2 to 5 days even, do not do a Brazilian. Wait until your period is finished. If you go for a Brazilian and your period is on its way, the pain is like times a million. Did I know this? No. She literally said to me, oh, pain, more. And I was like, what do you mean? So yes, very smart little Sam decided to go for a Brazilian, a full Brazilian, 2 days before her period, which means I was in for a lot of pain, and that was just the first rip. I had many more rips to go. Oh, the memories, they're all flooding back to me. When she did like the sides, the pain was actually bearable, but when she got to like the front, yo guys, I have never in my life experienced such trauma. I can't even describe that pain. I started tearing. Oh my god. I was in so much pain. I totally forgot that I was squeezing that crocodile so much it was almost flat. And then you know what? I had no idea that people had hair on the inside. But I found out that we had hair on the inside on that day. She put wax on the inside, and for the second time that night I prayed to all the gods, all 300,000 of them. I was like, wait a minute, you're gonna wax the inside? I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but inside I was just dying. My soul was dying. My soul was already dead actually, but it was dying more. And I was just like, oh my god, how is she gonna rip this off? Full-blown panic. Like, I'm still traumatized by that. And she ripped it. Just before she ripped it, I squeezed that teddy bear even more because for some reason I felt like that was going to be super painful. But actually that was not as painful. That was actually bearable. Not like the front. Oh my god. I just felt like it was taking forever. It was just never ending. Honestly, because of the amount of pain that I was in, I was so nervous. My palms were sweaty. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Anyway, so yeah, my palms were sweaty. And my body was, I was just so nervous and sweaty throughout the whole thing. It honestly felt like I was sitting there for about 3 hours. Longest half an hour of my life. Anyway, so about 1 million rips later, it was finally done. VJ was waxed completely. After all of that trauma, after all of that pain, after all of the sweat and tears and almost blood, I finally looked down at VJ and wow, did VJ look like a new man. It was the most life-changing thing. Honestly, the most life-changing thing. Also, I just want to say that this woman that I went to, she was incredibly thorough. She would like wax and then go back with the tweezers and like take out every single hair. I think she's definitely a perfectionist. It takes one to know one, so yeah, I can tell that she's a perfectionist. But the one issue I had was she was a little bit rough and she was going like really fast, very robotic almost. She really like got in there. Like, wow, I'm pretty sure she knows VJ better than I do because she really got in there. I felt like I lost my virginity twice. It felt like she was moving things around down there, you know? There was a time when I was like, oh, I don't even know if I can go to the toilet normally. I don't know, it felt like she moved things around so much. I felt like I would go for a poop and it would come out my nose or something. Anyway, in the end, she gave me like a whole bunch of ointments, like a lot of aloe vera and stuff, and she was like, moisturize! Even as I was saying goodbye and like walking out the door, all she said was moisturize! And I was like, okay, geez. She also told me that I was not allowed to go to gym. I was like, bruh, I did not know this came with so many rules. I wasn't allowed to go to gym. I won't lie, I wasn't unhappy about it. I was like, yes! Please, I'm gonna be waxing more often, that's for sure. I guess the sweat was going to like react badly with it and it was not good for the pores and something like that. I don't know. Oh, Also, oh my gosh, I had no idea about this. Again, TMI. It's definitely too late to warn you about this video being TMI. But anyway, remember I said I was too scared to go to the toilet because I felt like I felt different down there. For some reason, I don't know, I thought it was gonna hurt when I went to pee or something. But anyway, I plucked up the courage and I went for a little pee-pee. And I'm not even joking. But suddenly, I couldn't pee straight anymore. It was just going in any direction. I started panicking. I had like this dumb moment where I was like, oh my god, I think she actually changed the position of my pee hole. And I phoned my friend and I was like, you're not gonna believe this, but I went for a Brazilian and I can't pee straight anymore. And she was like, you dumbass, that happens. When I thought about it, it makes sense. Your hair can do that. Because I have no hair anymore, it completely changed the direction of my pee. Suddenly now, I had to focus when I was peeing because it was just literally going in any direction if I wasn't focusing. So I had to actually sit on the toilet and like almost like go into a meditative state to ensure that my pee was going in one direction. Not the boy band, but in one direction down the toilet. But after a few days, I got used to it. I practiced peeing every day. I can't believe at 30 years old, I was needing to practice to pee. After a few days and after a lot of practice, I was able to pee straight again. Because apparently this is the difference that hair makes. It actually changes the direction of your pee. You didn't know? Well, now you know. I mean, doesn't that tell us that actually we're not supposed to remove that hair down there because it helps us pee? This whole time that hair has been helping me pee straight and now I've just gone and removed all that hair? Even after all that trauma, you would think that I would never ever go back. But let me tell you something. I could never ever go back 2 times before a Brazilian. That process was so traumatizing. It has scarred me for life. But let me tell you something, I will go back. You know what they say, once you go Brazilian, you never go back. I cannot believe that hair makes that much of a difference. VJ is a new man, guys. I'm so happy for him. She also told me that I will probably need to come back in like 4 to 6 weeks. And I was like, bruh, this woman clearly doesn't know that I'm Indian. And I'll probably need to come back like in 2 days time. VJ will be fully grown again. Like I said, you know, Indians and their hair. I don't know if I'm a special case or what, but my hair, not just this, but any hair on my body, it grows at the speed of light. And apparently in Korea, they have this thing, they say that if your hair grows really fast, it means that you think about a lot of sexual things. That's not true because I'm very innocent. I thought maybe if I go back, maybe I should try a different person, but you know, this woman, I've only been to her once, but I feel like we have a special bond now. I feel like she's bonded with VJ. She knows VJ inside out, literally. I feel like, I don't know, man, I feel a connection to her now. So I have given you a lot of information today. I'm still traumatized. I can still feel that pain. You know, it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry that girls have to go through all of this. As if period pain isn't enough. As if pregnancy pain isn't enough. Now we have to wax our entire bodies and go through this pain. It is so unfair, honestly. Meanwhile, guys get to parade with their hairy ass legs and their hairy ass armpits, and we must just be okay with that. We have to kiss them with their hairy beards, but that's okay. I'm not bitter about this at all. No, screw this. Honestly, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just joking. I'm a mindless sheep and I just follow what society says. So I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah, so that's my Brazilian story time. I know this video was TMI. Like, this video was the definition of TMI. And for that, I apologize in advance. I know that it helps to hear other people's experiences. That's why I ended up doing this. Especially if you're a female in Korea, I really hope this helps you in some way. I don't actually know if this is supposed to be that painful, but for me it was really bloody painful. Do not forget, if your period is coming, do not make my mistake. Do not go for a Brazilian if your period is on its way in the near future. Please, promise! But this is why you have me. You have me to make all these mistakes for you so you can learn and you can have a better Brazilian. I did this for you. Well, actually, I did it for me, but I did it for you too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my story time. Don't forget, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like anyway. Don't forget to follow me on all the social medias. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you don't subscribe to my channel, I'm gonna come there and drop hot wax on your VJ. And you don't want that. And I will see you next time with a new video. Unrelated to the JJs, I promise. Goodbye!